Good morning, dear students. We are studying about the selection test, and we have studied the first part of that is called as the proficiency test. Next, we are going to study the psychological test. Okay. So, in the proficiency test, the knowledge of the person, the physical appearance, as well as the intelligence, the special qualities of the candidates, all these type of things are tested. And when we are conducting the psychological test, the mental abilities of the person is tested, whether he is interested, what interest he is having, the abilities of the person to understand the situations, the learning capacities of the person, the knowledge of the person, all these type of things are tested. Okay. So these are also very much important. Like just by knowing things like the theoretical and practical knowledge is not sufficient. Sometimes when we select many employees, so the theoretical knowledge will be equal for many candidates. Then we have to consider the psychological test also. See, like if a person is having lot amount of knowledge, but his behavior is not good, then he may not be a suitable person for being in the institution. Like if we want to have a teacher, if the teacher is having lot amount of knowledge, but that is not enough, so his personality also is going to be tested, because a teacher who is having a good knowledge is not sufficient for becoming a teacher, but his personality, his interest, his attitude towards different things, all these type of things are also going to affect the character of the children, because we are developing the children, and we have to understand the children. See, like if a teacher is teaching not just the words or the teachings, is the students are not going to copy, but the personality of the teacher also may be copying, or the behavior of the teacher, or whatever things that the teacher is doing is also going to be imitated by the students. So, if the person is not having good qualities or good personality, it is going to affect the students. So, such a way, or if we are considering a person in an organization, if you want to see, like if a person is there, so he is very much intelligent, but if he is not able to cope up with the other persons, like if he is always like a quarrelsome, very angry type of person is there and always fighting with others. So he is very much intelligent, he is very much capable, but if we are appointing him in an organization, he will be always fighting with the manager, always fighting with the colleagues. So the atmosphere in the organization will be affected. Even though he is very much intelligent, he is not able to accept others, and he is teaching boss, becoming a boss like others, whatever they are saying, some suggestions are given by others, and he is telling that no, this suggestion is not good, I will tell you what suggestion is required. So such type of attitude is there of a person, then it will affect the entire department, and it will affect the smooth functioning of the organization also. Okay, so if the one person is there, so he has to mingle with, if he is a manager or a superior officer or subordinate, whatever may be the post that he is doing, but he has to adjust with the other people, and mingle with others, and having a good relationship with others, and he should have the ability to learn new things. All these type of qualities are required. Okay. So now let us discuss what are the different types of tests that are conducted in the psychological test. So the first one is called as the interest test. So interest test is to conduct whether what is the interest of the person, which field he may be more interested. Okay, so as I told you, it is somewhat connected with the specialization, or if a person is coming, like if a teacher is coming into the school, and we have to find out whether he is his qualities will be there, he will be able to teach in different classes, but some teachers may be having some special interest in smaller classes. Okay, so some teachers may be very good, even though they are very much educated, they are very good in handling the LKG, UKG kids or smaller kids. But some people may not be having, their talent will be there, so they may not be able to handle the smaller kids. They may be able to handle only the average, like medium classes. Okay, and some are good in handling with the if it is comes to the higher classes like 9th onwards, if you consider 8 to 12th class, if you consider 8 9 onwards, like it is coming in the category of teenage. So handling these children is a little different, you know. So like how you are treating LKE kids, in the same way if you handle the children of 12th class, it is not possible, or it is not good. So they are not going to accept everything, you know. So they when they come into 8th class or 9th class onwards, they enter into the teenage, and now you are in the teenage. So when you are in a teenage, your attitudes are entirely different. So a teacher also has to understand that this is your age, and your attachment towards different things, or the attitude towards different things are entirely different. Okay, but when you go to colleges, your attitude will be changing. Okay, now you are having some kind of so much amount of expectation, so much amount of interest and all are there. But when you go to college, your attitude will be different. So becoming a college teacher is entirely different than the school teacher. Okay, so it is depending on the interest of the person. So what kind of interest the person is having. Okay, see for example, if I am there, so I have completed my MBA and I can work in some other companies, or working in the institutions, becoming like some managers and so on, I can work. But my interest is in teaching, even though the qualification or the MBA is not like a school teaching. It is not actually suitable for school teaching. +1 +2 business studies and all is okay, but other classes like school teaching, it is not actually suitable. Like it is for the MBA that we are studying is for becoming managers and so on. But what as per my interest, maybe because I started my work as teaching, and I found it very much interesting being with the children and enjoying the life with the children. So we have to learn a lot of things from the children. When we are dealing with the children, we get a lot amount of things and we can teach them. So it is very much interesting to see them growing. Okay, so the growth of the children is a very much interesting thing. Okay, so we have to say like when we talk something to the children, then they respond. So their response and all are very much interesting. So they are having lot amount of curiosities, especially the children of 8th class, 9th class and all. If you consider, they are starting in the stage of the teenage. So they have a lot amount of expectations, lot amount of doubts. Okay, some of their friends are telling like this is like that, like this. So many things are there, and some things they are reading from newspaper or internet and so on. They are getting some knowledge, but they don't have a clear idea about what is there, or what ideas are right, what is to be trusted, what is not to be trusted. So much amount of confusions are. But by that time that you now you are coming into the 12th class, by this time you are almost clear about the things, all the things that is happening within you, like your physical changes and so on, or your attitudes, your mental mind is also changing. Your body as well as your mind is entirely changing in this period. So that changes are affecting in your intelligence level also. Okay, so your attitude towards studies entirely changes. Like some students are there, with those who are very good in studies up to 7th class or 8th class, they become very much poor in studies from 9th or onwards. Okay, or to the higher classes. Those who are very good in studies, some of your classmates you might have observed, those who are very good in studies up to 7th class or 8th class, they became very worse in studies during this time. Okay, and some students, those who are very poor in studies, those who were not studying very much nicely, they started improving in 8th class or 9th class, because they come to understand that this is necessary for them. Okay, and they are intelligent, but earlier they were not making use of their intelligence. Now they started to make use of it. Okay, so that is there. So interest of the people are entirely different. So we have to understand, and if you understand the interest of the candidates, then we can appoint him according to his likes and dislikes, and this will more increase the job satisfaction of the employees. And if job satisfaction is there, then that person will be able to work with a lot amount of with a full confidence, and full efficiency will be utilized. Next what we have to study is about the intelligence test. Intelligence test means the knowledge level of the person, how much intelligence the person is having, how much ability is there for understanding things, how much ability is there for grasping new things. All these type of things are tested. So the intelligent person, if there is an intelligent person, then he will be able to make decisions very much easily, as well as he will be able to make learn new things easily. Okay, so an intelligent person, see, like if students are there in our class, so those intelligent students are there, they don't spend a lot amount of time for their studies. Don't think that the one who is spending the largest or highest amount of time for their studies is the most intelligent person. The most intelligent students are not spending much time for their studies. If you ask them, you can understand. Those they are spending maybe like some 2 hours or 3 hours, okay, maximum. But some students are there, they are spending lot amount of time, but they are unable to study because their intelligence level or their attitude towards the studies is different, or either the methods of their studies are different. Okay, so intelligence. And if you ask a question to somebody, some people take a lot amount of time for understanding it. Or if I am telling something, like when I am teaching a new topic, some students will understand it just when I am telling itself, once itself. But some students will never understand. If I tell you 3 times or 4 times, then also they may not be able to understand. So in order to understand the intelligence qualities of the students or the candidates, we will be asking them, preparing a long list of questions and ask them to solve these questions or answer these questions. So such a way we will be able to understand the intelligence level of the person. Next type of test conducted is called as the aptitude test. The aptitude test means that the learning capacity of the person, how much easily a person can understand a new concept. Okay, so that is what we study in the aptitude test. So, or aptitude towards the different concepts of the candidate is tested in this way. So most of the time we say like different people will take different time for understanding new things, learning capacities, okay, or whether the person is able to understand new things when a new idea is shared, or when a new things are told, or when a training is given. See, like if we are giving a training, some people will easily understand that and they will learn new techniques very much fast. But some people will take a lot amount of time for that. So these difference in the learning capacities are tested in the aptitude test. Okay. Then next test is conducted is called as the personality test. The personality test is about the person's behavior as well as his interest. So the way that he is influencing, ability of the person to influence others, or how he is dealing with other people, understanding of other people, and how he is able to make others understand. Okay, so emotional level of the person. So all these type of things are included in the personality test. So the person with a good personality will be able to understand other people, motivate other people, and work in a friendly atmosphere with the other people. Okay, so that is also very much important. Okay, so if a person is able to do things, it is not necessary, but he should be able to help others also to do the things. So a organization is a group of persons where individual performance is not going to be calculated. The group performance is having more importance. Like if there is a team leader, and if he is having a very good personality, if he is having the influencing power is there, then he will be able to motivate other people and make them to do the work. Okay, he is able to do, that is another thing. But if he is able to make others also to do the things, that is very much important. See, like if in our class and all, there will be some type of people, those who are having a lot amount of positive energy. So they are there, they will be always motivating, even if like if you are playing a game. So if in your team there may be some people will be there, even if we are losing, then also they will say that we can work and a little more. If you be careful, we can win. Okay, so such type of attitude is there. Some people are able to make others to influence others by their expressions or by their way of that they are doing. So even at the last moment, even if we like if some 6 times they failed, 10 times they failed, then also they come up. Okay, those who are having like that much amount of positive energy. But there are some people, those who are like once they failed itself, they will be very much negative. They are saying that, oh, we over, everything is over now, we cannot do anything. Such type of negative energy is transferred to others. So then he will not be, or such type of people will be, he himself may not be doing things, and then he will not make others also to do anything. Okay, so such type of people are also there. So we have to understand the personality, the ability of the person to understand the things, and how he is able to influence others. The ability of a person to influence others. All these type of things are tested in the personality test. So these are the different psychological tests, and there is one more category of test that is called as the other test. Okay. So other test includes, the first one is called as the knowledge of language test. Okay, so the knowledge of a language. So in this, the person's knowledge about the language is tested. How the person is able to use the language, what the way that the person is using the words, the style of writing, the handwriting, the way that he is able to express the words. Some people will be able to write in different ways. So the writing skills, or the knowledge of the language, okay, or when we is speaking also. So some people are there, they are using very simple words to speak. But some people use very complicated words, very different words, very attractive way they will be expressing the ideas. Simple things they may be speaking, but they will be speaking in a very entirely different way. Okay, so if there is a teacher or a manager, when he is expressing a new idea, if he is expressing it in a different way, the others will be very much interested to listen to those things. And if he is just like traditional way, very monotonously he is speaking, and people or the students are also not going to get interested. If a teacher is always speaking with a very simultaneous tone and no any interest, in such a way, if a teacher is speaking, then the students will get bored and they will stop listening to the classes. But if a teacher is teaching in a very new way, very creativity is used. So such kind of people, when they are speaking or when they are using the language, and when some things are written, just if you see like some sentences are written, so some people just say the plain idea. Some people will exaggerate these things and write in a very interesting way. Or if you imagine that if you want to prepare a notice for the, like if you are going to conduct a meeting or conduct a program, and if you want to make a notice for that, so some people just write that the program is going to be conducted on this particular day and these things are, so that way it will be presented. But people will not get much interest or much attention will not be paid. But when you create it in a very different way, if you are creating some very good name is given and attractive way if we are presenting, then people will get a more idea about that. So such a way, the ability of the person to use the language is tested in the knowledge of language tested. Okay. Then the last test conducted is called as the general knowledge test. So it is testing the general knowledge of the person, the memory capacity, the ability to remember the things, and how much he is able to express, how much idea he is having about the general things that is taking place, current affairs and other kind of things, and whether he is able to memorize the things. So all these type of things are tested. Okay, so these are the different kinds of tests that is conducted. So we studied about the first we studied that the proficiency tests are there in order to understand the ability of the persons, and the psychological test and the other tests are there for conducting the mental abilities of the person. So there are so many tests, and even though it is written in different headings, some organizations, all the organizations are not going to test each test differently. Okay, and all these tests, some of these people, they will be conducting mixing up of all this, like one interview they will be conducting, and just in one interview itself all this type of information they will try to collect it. Okay, there is no need of separate interview will not be conducted. One interview itself will be conducted, and they will be asking all the things which is required, and it is not necessary that all the tests will be conducted. Okay, so according to the type of job that they are doing, what type of job they are doing, based on that they will be conducting the test. Okay, so whichever type of tests are required for the organization, those tests will be conducted. and if those type of tests are not necessary, then they will not conduct the such type of test. So it is generally all the tests which are conducted by big organizations, all these things are discussed, but it is not necessary that every organization will be following the same method of selection procedures. Okay, so these are the different tests that can be conducted for the selecting and understanding. So if these all these tests are conducted exactly about a person, what he is, what are the talent, everything can be understood. Okay, so there are some kind of organizations, according to their requirement, they may conduct some other tests also for understanding the person in a better way. Okay, so that is about the selection test. The remaining topics we will discuss in the next class. Thank you so much.